Welcome. This is Kronos from Texas Smash. We've got something special in store for you today. Let's nerd out together. Today is the selection show for the first My Hero Madness tournament. This tournament will have 100 participants. 100. Characters from the movies, characters who we've seen in the anime, characters who we have not seen in the anime, characters from My Hero Academia Vigilantes, all fighting it out in a one-on-one sudden death bracket for the ages. This tournament will take place every weekend in March, with the champion being crowned on the premiere of Season 5. This tournament will feature 5 top-class voters, including Turtle himself from the YouTube channel Turtle Quirk, judging and deciding each match by majority rule. Stick around to the end to get a sneak peek of round 1. Spoiler warning, any given character in the My Hero Academia universe could be brought up and discussed. No one is off limits for the tournament. Like and subscribe. If there's one thing that anime and sports fans can typically agree on, it's that tournaments are awesome. Hell, if there's one thing most any type of fan can agree on with most any other type of fan, it's that tournaments are awesome. Are you ready? And March is tournament month. And it's March. And as far as I'm aware, there's not a fantasy My Hero tournament available to watch on YouTube. So let's fix that. 2 things My Hero really excels at is 1, the sheer quantity of genuinely developed characters in the series, and 2, these same said characters hold on to their relevancy in the plot due to the nature of the quirk power system. You feel like characters such as Ida, Kaminari, Froppy can not only contribute, but decide the battle if the environmental conditions are right. When someone arrives on the scene in a My Hero fight, the viewer immediately starts to wonder what that person's quirk might be, how the fight could change because of it. Compare that to, say, Dragon Ball Super, where if someone arrives at a fight scene, if it's not Goku, then who cares? So why not take advantage of all these amazing characters and throw them into a hypothetical massive tournament? I have selected 100 participants to enter a sudden death one-on-one tournament. It will go much like the final 16 1A students fought it out at the end of the sports festival, except this time we aren't wasting resources on cavalry battles and obstacle courses. And we aren't limiting our entertainers to Class 1A either. I told the people participating as a voter the following outline when requesting their votes. I do not want to tell you environmental details of the fight, like it's nighttime for Tokoyami or the stage is black for Vantablack. All you know is the 2 people that are fighting one-on-one. Consider what we know about the character today and compare each character in their top form. What does your gut tell you? And with that, let's talk about our 4 voters other than myself. I told you we got some good ones. For those of you that have been watching our weekly chapter discussions on Texas Smash, you'll already know. But for those who haven't seen those videos, let me reintroduce my weekly chapter video co-host, Locan, as a voter for My Hero Madness. Considering my audience, I'd imagine a good amount of you are familiar with the channel Turtle Quirk on YouTube. But for those that aren't, Turtle Quirk is an amazing, predominantly My Hero channel with a good amount of Black Clover and Attack on Titan coverage as well. Turtle is so detail-oriented and second to none in My Hero savvy that I pledged my support for his channel via Patreon. To put this in some perspective, I had never pledged to anyone on Patreon prior to this. That's how good this man is. Since then, I have been privileged enough to nerd out with some of his other supporters who were equally as obsessed as I was with My Hero in the exclusive Discord server for Turtle Quirk Patreons. So without further ado, the next 2 voters are Pippo and Tyler, both of whom support Turtle on Patreon and both of whom know their stuff when it comes to My Hero. This brings our total voter count to 4 people, and I may have spoiled the final member in the intro to this video, but don't worry audience, I saved another big surprise for you. Nani? Turtle will be joining Locan and I for the final video of this series to crown the champion. Alright, that's a lot of excitement and we barely just announced the voters. Now let's go through a list of characters who were excluded from the tournament because they're too overpowered. None of these characters got an invite to the tournament. My Hero does an excellent job in balancing power, but there's still that top tier level of character class, such as the characters you see here. The only threat to someone in this group would be someone else on this same list. Considering how large this tournament is, I thought taking these overwhelming favorites out of the tournament would make it more interesting. If you're in this group, you've got nothing to prove, except maybe Ingenium. From here, I took the next best 100 characters. There were several factors I kept in mind while selecting characters to participate. Some of these include who the person is perceived to be in My Hero society, justified or not, category representation, and the known accomplishments or failures of the character. One last thing that I would mention is that I would shy away from seating too many people in the same category back to back. So there were many different variables in the seating process. At the end of the day, if you're meant to win this thing, then it is your destiny to fight through the tournament regardless of your seed. From these groups, we can categorize further to simply say that we end up with 62 heroes, 30 villains, and 8 civilians. Now for the top 28 seeds. These are some big names. We will not see these guys next week, as this fortunate list of 28 have a bye week for round 1. Just know these characters are participating in the tournament and will eagerly be awaiting their opponent in round 2 of My Hero Madness. Time to unveil the matches for round 1. This series is going to be super fun to make, and I'm so excited to bring you guys a massive tournament chock full of fantasy fights between my hero characters, who most likely would have otherwise never had a chance to fight in the actual manga. Some of these fights are going to be tough calls. Some will be super intriguing to think about who would win. Expect chaos. Expect madness. Expect plus ultra.